Hey guys, I'm over here in Tenerife near Los Obrigos, and I am going to tell you guys about my problem with my leg, which is called piriformis syndrome. And I'm actually going to post this specifically for people who are suffering from that. I actually had a relapse of that disorder this past week. And I'll tell you what happened. I booked a hostel that was up a hill that was 1 mile long. So it was a steady climb up the hill. And I went to the hostel and I was like, you know what? I'll just try to walk there, buy stuff. And I had about 30 to 35 pounds worth of luggage with me. Some food items and things like that. So by the time I got up to the top, my leg was really hurting me, and they didn't have transportation there up the hill. Well, I mean, you could call a cab, but I was like, kind of stubborn here. So that happened to me, and it's my second relapse. I had a relapse over in Montenegro, going up the stairs with my heavy luggage, and I'll tell you about that, but I'm good now. It's been about 7 days since that. And one of the things I do to alleviate that pain is I pull my knee up to my chest and stretch out my leg on the left side. And that does the trick. It takes like a day or two. So the pain, first day was really bad. I hitchhiked back up the hill when I stayed in the hostel for 2 nights. And the solution to that is I just took it really slow. And so I was just there taking a rest, by the pool, whatever. So checked out, went to a different hostel in Los Obrigos. So they didn't know that, So it was going away after a couple. It takes basically a couple of days for the pain to go away. But so as a traveler, I'm going to give you some tips on how to avoid taxis and things like that. But just ask the hotel. The hostel that I stayed at, they didn't have any transportation up the hill, and it's actually like a dirt road. So I was just a little stubborn there, And today I'm doing this is like 3 miles already, and I'm going to go back the other way 3 miles. So my leg is perfectly good, but I tend to walk along a straight line, so not uphill that much. And plus I have my luggage at the other hostel. So checked out of the hostel over here and moved to a different one, my second one that I'm going on. So yeah, so the main thing that I do is just lay on my side for a while. Don't pick up my luggage or ask somebody else to get it. I'm actually trying to cut back on my luggage, so it's very important, but another problem that I have with the piriformis syndrome is that I'm a very athletic looking person. So if you saw me, you wouldn't know that I was in freaking really bad pain, with my leg being pulled. But so that's it. They may not, I don't tell them, or they don't ask, or something like that, but I mean, maybe with a senior citizen, they might ask. But I'm in my mid-40s now, so I'm in excellent shape other than problem with my leg, right? So, and I'll tell you how this came about. So the first time that I got piriformis syndrome, I was in Thailand. So I had just left for my 2.5 year world tour. And I was going up the stairs and down the stairs with my heavy suitcase on my left hand. And it must have weighed about 60 pounds. So when I was moving it was just kind of, 60, 65 pounds. It was against my hip there. And so it was just too big for me to get a handle on. And I pulled my leg at that time. And so when I was in Thailand, I just kind of suffered with it. And I waited months. Finally went to a physical therapist over in Cambodia. And that's when she showed me the stretches there. And bam, cured it in a couple of days. Now, it wasn't an immediate cure. It was like it took a couple of days to release the muscle. But what happened to me was that when I was in Cambodia, you'll see I filmed a lot of videos there. Well, it just stayed pulled. So it was a constant pain, a little bit of pain here. So I would leave my room, go, out into the city and, take a cycling trip or go to the mall, and pretty soon, 30 minutes, an hour later, bam, 45 minutes, bam, hurting again, got to go home, take a rest on my bed. So when everybody else was locked down for coronavirus, I was having this problem. So I didn't really have any problem with coronavirus or didn't catch it, wasn't sick or anything like that. So just this constant, leg pain. But I definitely would not wait to go to a physical therapist or a doctor. You could also go to a doctor, but that cost me $50. So not super cheap, not expensive, $50, bam, cured it. Now, the symptoms are very similar to having a slip disc, and that's what my dad, who is a doctor, thought I might have. And that is a much more expensive problem to deal with, and it's lucky for me I don't have that. Mine is a fast fix, bam, I'm back out. A couple days rest, bam, I'm back walking again. But I just try to avoid, whatever triggers it. It's like a constant pain in your backside or upper leg. So that is what's going on there. And another tip that I have for you about traveling with this disorder is for my big luggage, the way that I have it is I actually have a duffel bag inside the luggage. So what I do is I put that duffel bag, pull it out of the big luggage. That way I can move it up the stairs, right? So it's like, say, 20 pounds on that side. And that way I don't have to move the bigger suitcase, which is like, say, 50 pounds. So that's also why I'm trying to cut back on the weight. But those simple duffel bags, what that got me is that when I go to, say, a hotel or like a homestay with stairs, and I'm staying in mostly budget places, that allows me to move that without having to tell the landlord, oh, by the way, I'm handicapped, and can you pick up my bag for me? Yeah. Instead of saying that, or just the person doesn't want to move it. So what actually happened over in Montenegro is the taxi driver that I told to move my luggage, he had his own health problems. And so what happened with him is that he couldn't move my luggage either, right? So he had, he was just an old man. He was actually related to my landlord. And so I was like, oh no, I've got to pick these big bags up the stairs to take them down, So that's what triggered that episode there. And that was a bad one. That was not fun. Yeah, it was like, took a while longer to release that, but I was stuck in my room there. And, with stretching, while that took the first couple of days, I could barely make it to the store. So after that, it kind of went down. And the pain subsided, another week, and then about 10 days later, now I'm back to only a little bit of pain, and then 2 weeks in, bam, I'm good to go. So hopefully I can avoid a recurrence. Don't be stubborn about paying for the cab, And that is my experience with that. If you are a chronic sufferer, I do not wish this on anyone. All right, I'm going to head back to Almadena, and I'll catch you guys in a few.